Welcome to Call the Pen. We're back, 2024 edition, and we're just a little bit older, but way better looking. And I'm your co-host, Brandon Kinsler. My other co-host, Steve Cishek. We got about 20 years combined of Major League Baseball, and we're going to talk today. We're talking about some Ohtani, which everyone I'm sure wants to know about or talk about. And our predictions for the year: who's in the right position, who made themselves better, and who do we think really has no shot? So, Steve, how was your off season?
Yeah, it was good. Busy. Girls right now, especially, are in the softball. My oldest is playing golf right now,
Nice.
PGA Junior League, so it's super fun. I get to caddy for her. So between coaching softball, caddying, and golf, and helping out at Jupiter Christian's varsity baseball team this year was just fun. New for me. It's been busy, but it's been really good. What about you?
Well, why don't you set your kid up for success and not caddy for her and get her a real coach that knows what they're talking about?
Unfortunately, the real coach is the one that runs the league here. She's incredible, like top 50 golf coach, kids golf coach, Brittany Ferrante. She's awesome. But so then, I do what I can out there. We keep level heads out there. They're only 9 years old.
I guess that's why you retire, so you can have those moments. That's the cool part about that.
I will say, like, I used to get amped for pitching, right? But when my girls get into like a game or she does golf, like I look so forward to that more than anything. It's awesome, man. I'm sure you're the same way with Knox. I didn't get nervous at all. No, I don't get nervous because it's not serious competition like what Knox is doing. Maybe when she gets a little bit older, but no, I get excited for her because usually she's kind of apprehensive and nervous. And this time I was like, "Hey, you nervous?" And I was rolling up in the golf course, and she's like, "No, I'm excited." I'm like, "Oh, all right, now we go." Let's do it.
She is your kid.
Yeah. So it's good.
Man, Knox was qualifying for Team USA a couple months ago. It was in the semifinals, so he had to finish top 4 in this race, and I was so nervous I was going to throw up. Like, you just have no control over it. You never know what an 8-year-old is going to do. You just don't know what's going to happen, and he ended up having a great lap, and he qualified. It was awesome. So now we get to go to race for Team USA in May in South Carolina. So that'll be fun.
Dude, you didn't tell me that, or maybe you tried to tell me that when the mic was cutting out yesterday. And I missed it. That's awesome, dude. Congrats to Knox.
Yeah. So I want to go out there and dominate and be the world champ. So it'd be cool to have my kid with me.
Yep, for sure. Good
Maybe he'll accidentally win. Who knows?
Yeah, he's got your grit. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I think my daughter more has my grit than Knox. My daughter's a stud at dance. She's just like what you're talking about. She doesn't get nervous. She gets more excited to perform on a stage by herself, which I would totally throw up on.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you had to address the team when we were in Pittsburgh and call a team meeting.
I was totally confident in that one.
No, it was good. It was good.
The middle reliever is going to tell the defending world champs how we should play.
Middle relievers, plural? You had me read a whole thing, too.
Anyway. All right, so go to Shohei. I don't know what to think about all this. There's a lot out there that he could be part of it, that he knew about it. Obviously, he went yesterday and publicly said he had nothing and blamed the guy. So saying he stole the money. I don't know about you, Steve, but when wire transfers go through me or leave my account, I have to approve it. But we're not as rich as Shohei. Maybe he doesn't have to approve it, and $4.5 million disappears out of no one. But what do you got on it? You played with him, and you met the interpreter. Maybe you were doing some stuff when you're playing there. I don't know.
Hey,
you like to mess around a little bit. You did gamble a Muhammad Ali painting that's hanging in my wall right now.
Yeah, well, that's true. I had to buy you one of those, didn't I? What was that for, by the way?
I had it hanging in our bullpen, remember?
Oh, that's right.
I had someone draw it up just for the year, and then you liked it so much, but then we played golf for it.
That's right.
And I dominated.
Last time. I mean, when I heard the news, I was shocked, and I kind of just like laughed it off. And now it got really serious, obviously. So I was like, "Oh shoot! Like what is going on?" Because I didn't see any hints of that in L.A. With Shohei. He's just a happy-go-lucky guy. Worked hard and didn't. I mean, he spoke English, but not a ton. But yeah, him and Ipe were attached at the hip, man. So like, I don't know if Ipe has a power of attorney to sign off on things, or too much trust. Maybe a case of too much trust going on. There's it's not the first time something like this happened with an athlete or someone of influence. True. So Who knows, man? The thing is, it's just tough because let's just say Shohei's telling the truth, and none of this, like, it just kind of blew his mind, and it's like keeping him up at night. Like, we will never know that. Everyone's just going to
No.
keep hitting the conspiracy button. So I don't know. I didn't see it when I was there. I'm really shocked.
The balls it would take just take his money is insane. Like, you got a job for the next 10 years with this guy. He pays you $500,000 to $1 million a year. I mean, holy crap! The balls it would take to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. My thought
for Ipe,
is, here's what I think. This is what my little conspiracy theory. I think California got pissed that they're not going to get any of his $700 million. Basically, they lost out on like $300 million, and they started digging and they found some stuff, and they're going to expose it.
I've heard so many theories. That's the first time I've heard that, but I don't know. I wouldn't put it past the state of California. They want that money. Everyone's moving out of there.
We'll move on. Well, now we're on the Shohei and the Dodgers. I guess obviously they made some massive moves to set themselves up more than anyone for success. I think the glass now is if that guy stays healthy, he's obviously a top-notch ace. Their bullpen will be solid. If Joe Kelly can ever stay healthy, he's always going to be good. It's the first time I probably ever gave that guy credit, but
he's good.
He was getting jobs. He gets paid $8 million every year, no matter what. So he's doing something.
Again, if he can stay healthy, like his stuff isn't electric. It's just a matter of staying healthy. Yep. By the way, especially with relievers and him specifically, I don't know him real well, but just chatting with him a little bit, in 2021, he was trying to come back like way too soon, and he knew it, but he wanted to push because he wanted to be up there with the boys. And when that happens, obviously you're not going to be as sharp. So a lot of stuff with him, he wears it early, but then he's sharp later on. AKA the playoffs, like he just turns it on. So like someone with him, I'm not as concerned about the numbers. I would actually agree with the computers on what what he says, on what they say. I mean, because the numbers are kind of
100-mile-an-hour sinkers play. With
exactly
a 90-mile-an-hour curveball.
Just don't throw that changeup that broke someone's window on. But
yeah, don't do that one. That was probably on purpose for views, but
yeah, for sure. Anyways, yeah. So we're just gonna start with the NL West then. I guess you're gonna say Dodgers. Yeah. That's a clear winner.
Dodgers, obviously, I think win Major League Baseball in the offseason, but we don't know. The offseason doesn't win you the championships. I think the Dodgers always make moves in the offseason to set themselves up. But the Giants are trying to make moves. I'm not really excited. I think it's so weird that the Cy Young Award winner could not get a job or what he wanted. I guess there could be some character problems. I don't know. I never met the guy. Never played with him. I don't know. He just seems different. But why want that guy? Why can't the Cy Young Award winner get a 5-6 year deal that he wanted? He gets a 2-year deal. I mean, I'll still take $30 million a year, but you got to go to San Francisco and give 60% of it, which sucks. But
right, no, totally. But what about the Diamondbacks? They took it to the Dodgers last year. They got better this offseason.
I like their team. I like their speed, athletic. Now they know they're not scared. Now Dodgers got to go play a team that's definitely not scared of them.
Yeah,
and they just picked up a solid starter, Montgomery.
I mean, I think the Dodgers will win it, but this year the Diamondbacks are going to be like literally nipping at their heels because that's right. And that's what I was going to say. They got Montgomery. Now they got, which by the way, 1 year, $25 million. It seems like a pretty decent deal. Like Montgomery's legit. Like I know why teams didn't want to sign him. Probably because the strikeout numbers are down and he's a boring sinker ball, out getter. But like teams don't value that anymore.
My career? You just described my career.
And here we are doing a podcast. So you know what I'm saying? It's like the teams don't care about that anymore. They want punch outs and like full ride 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Anyways,
but then the guy dominates
he's really
in
good.
The postseason.
Yeah, he's good, man. I was just pulling up his numbers. He's got like a career 3.6, pitching at Yankee Stadium with a terrible defense, mind you. And then he goes to Texas, big ballpark, with a really good defense. I think they were second best in the league last year. And he throws up a 2.79. It's not surprising. But guess what? In 68 innings, he only struck out 58 guys. Like, uh-oh. No, it's outs or outs, man.
Outs or outs, and he goes deep. And he's got nuts. I'll take it.
Yeah, all that to say too is they got Eduardo Rodriguez, solid left-handed pitcher. So now you got Gallen, Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Montgomery. I don't know who their fifth guy's gonna be. Maybe that young kid that threw in the playoffs, right? I already
Yeah,
forget
that
his
kid
name.
was good.
Yeah, he looked good. He learned a lot last year. And then you got
Yeah.
Suarez and Jock Peterson. You Eugenio Suarez, my boy, owns me, owns me, and Jock Peterson. And I mean, and then Corbin Carroll's a stud. That Gabriel Moreno guy, the catcher there, he
Yeah, I
was
think
incredible. I don't know, man. They're an exciting team for me.
they are. I hope they get off to a good start. I don't want them to get off and struggle and have to chase the Dodgers.
Yep.
I just want to get off to a good start and stay solid. The Rockies, we don't need to talk about it. No offense to them, but they're just not very exciting. So you have the Dodgers winning the West. I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks.
Of course you are. I'm going to write these down.
Yeah, you should
keep
write
track
these
of this.
down.
West.
You're a front runner.
If I were to flip flop with you, this would be the reason, because Shohei will pitch next year.
Yeah, he's not pitching this year.
Exactly. The Dodgers are going to get that much better next year. Literally,
yeah,
because
next year. We're not talking about next year.
But that's the only reason why I would have said the Diamondbacks this year. But I'm going to stick with the Dodgers still. All right. Moving on. Let's go NL.
We'll go AL West.
All right, AL West.
We get the defending World Series champs. The Rangers, at some point, they'll get DeGrom. They got Eovaldi, maybe Scherzer. He's feeling old these days, cranky back. And then who else do they get?
Scherzer. They got Scherzer, DeGrom, Maley, who was with the.
Oh yeah,
but he's not coming. I don't think he's coming to the second half of the season. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
Good. Well, so he's basically replacing Montgomery, which isn't. He's not Montgomery, but he's good. He's not Montgomery. But yeah, they got Eovaldi, John Gray. Huh? Yeah, they have Gray, Heaney, Andrew Heaney, Dane Dunning. Dunning was great for the first half. I think he was an all-star last year. Solid. Again, sinker ball guy. Good defense behind him, so you like that. You know what? Did they get Lorenzen?
That's who they got the other day, Lorenzen.
And he's a Swiss Army knife. Bullpen and starter. He's just solid.
Yeah. They're just trying to create depth. That's what, like Chris Young said. He goes, we have depth. That's how you play this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then they got this, my call rookie of the year. Dang, what was that kid's name? I already forget. My call for the rookie of the year, and I forgot the kid's name.
Good job. It's great for the show.
Yeah.
I'm on the Astros right now, so you keep digging. But I got the Astros edging them out this year. I want to say Angels. I want to say Angels, so.
What? The Angels? What, Ron Washington there?
Yeah. Big Ron.
You know who made that team?
Ron Washington.
Miguel Sano made that team. Good for him.
The Angels?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That guy was an absolute, when I played with him in Minnesota, absolute stud, but then he just couldn't get out of his own way with his eating habits and then his big head. Yeah, he was just full of himself a little bit. Yeah,
but sounds like he leaned up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good for him. That guy's he's an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was an all-star too, so I guess that means I'm sitting on the couch.
By the way, do we have a Blake Snell signing yet, or what? No, right?
Like pitch?
No, like who's he signed with?
We just talked about that.
When? Just with the Giants. Oh yeah, my bad. His name popped up under these guys. That's right.
Oh my god!
All right, go ahead.
I'm still finding my guy, my rookie of the year candidate. Where did this guy go?
I don't know. So the Astros, right?
Well, another thing I was saying about the Astros, they go get Hader, okay? And we've been in bullpens. I've been a closer. You've been a closer. Presley's been a top-notch closer for the last 4 or 5 years. Best playoff closer in baseball the last 4 or 5 years. And now you don't have a job. You're not the closer. I know on the outside, everyone's like, oh, it's okay. We do this and that. It's not okay inside. I guarantee you, and I know Presley, he's not going to be the same. It's going to be, and if Hader's not the closer, he's not going to be the same. I'm telling you, It looks good on paper, but it's not going to go the way they want it to go.
Yeah, but with Presley, you can't do this with Hader because he doesn't want to throw more than one inning. With Presley, if Brian Abreu gets or anyone gets in trouble in the 7th inning, you can come in as a fireman and then get the 8th inning as well. And he's a good guy to do that, I feel like.
Well, and he doesn't want to do that. By the way, Hader said he didn't want to do that because he didn't want to get hurt because he hadn't been paid yet. Now that he's been paid, I think he'll do it.
Is that really what he said?
Yeah, which is crazy selfish. I'd be pissed if I was his teammate, like in San Diego, where we need you to come in and face the Phillies to go to the World Series, and because you haven't gotten paid, you're not going 1+. That's crazy. By the way, that guy's name was Langford, and that is Wyatt Langford, and that is my Rookie of the Year candidate.
Okay. That's right. You were talking about him yesterday. You sure it wasn't Blake Snell?
The Astros aren't healthy. McCullers isn't healthy. Verlander's not healthy.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got some guys in AAA that can come up and do the job, but I'm going to roll. I'm going Rangers on that one. Their lineup's way too deep. I don't know much about their bullpen, but their lineup is way too deep, and the rotation's going to be solid.
All right. I'm going to say Astros. They know
the
how to win.
Mariners not bad. Don't forget about the Mariners. Their potential. They're not there yet. They still got arms, and they got bullpen for days.
Yeah. I'm just so indifferent against them because what happens is they'll trade away guys or let guys go, and then they sign like the same person basically to like replace those guys. So they're just sitting in like limbo. Yeah. And it's weird. I don't know. Like,
all right, NL Central.
All right.
I'm gonna go Cardinals. I don't think the NL Central is very exciting at all. I think the Brewers. I saw some video on the Brewers bullpen. They love their bullpen. I think that's how they're going to try to win every game. Is their bullpen?
That's how they always win.
Yeah, but the problem, they're going to get worn out. Obviously, they're going to go up and down, make moves, but they got rid of Corbin Burns and Peralta. He's good. He's a good starter. They don't even have Devin Williams.
Yeah,
he might be out for the whole year. He got fractures in his back.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
2 fractures.
I swear, dude. I saw him like a month ago. He looked great.
Yeah, let's ask Cressy about that one. Get him on. What happened in a Cressy performance? Need to come to Salty Nuts Fitness.
Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, that's what I call my house.
Tough name.
But
so you got the
Cardinals
are
solid. They went and made some solid. They're not exciting moves for the rotation. Well, actually, Sonny Gray is exciting. He's nasty. He's got to stay healthy. They got innings eaters. Gibson's solid. He's going to probably put up a 4 ERA maybe.
Yeah.
And Daniel Descalso, our former teammate, is now the bench coach. So
I have to agree with you on this one. I hate. I wanted to have a different pick, but you know what's funny is I was looking up. Actually, I'll pull it up right here. ESPN's like top teams, let's say, right, and they have ahead of the Cardinals. They have the Cubs and the Reds being better than the Cardinals. I'm like, there's just no way.
There's no way.
Like the starting pitching, they answered their problem, which was starting pitching last year, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know about their bullpen. Maybe that's be their Achilles heel now, and they also signed Brandon Crawford, who still has life left, in my opinion. He's so good. But I mean, he's gonna be a backup player, but someone's gonna go down. They're gonna rely on that glove. He's unbelievable. Anyways, my point is this: they had 0 starting pitching last year. I hate to say it, and this year they signed those 3 guys, and they're all really good. In fact, Kyle Gibson's last outing, I don't know if you saw it. I think it was yesterday. Punched out 9.
Did he really?
This wipeout slider. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes in waves, man. He goes in waves. He's got a good slider. He's always had a good slider.
It was late, like real nice. So he'll eat up innings. If they can, put some runs on the board, which that should be no problem for that lineup.
Yeah,
they're gonna be good.
And they don't have to no offense to Wainwright, but they don't have to run Wainwright out just trying to chase 200 wins. And that guy was just killing. I mean, he was a bullpen killer. And just more of like, if you win one day and the next day Wainwright goes out there, I mean, he's just kills the whole vibe.
Yeah, definitely no disrespect there, but it is tough on a team for that long.
And then the Cubs, I don't think the Cubs did nothing. They got Bellinger because the fans wanted them to. Other than that, they really did nothing.
Yeah, let's look at that. Let me pull that up too.
Should have brought Jesse Rogers on to talk about Central.
We'll get him on here. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
I'm not. The Cubs are going to be basically the same team. You know, they signed.
They can't expect Cardinals to be that bad again. There's no way.
No, definitely not. That was a fluke.
The
And again,
Pirates
it was
are gonna
all
be
because
better.
of starting pitching. Pirates will be better, but they're still not there.
No, but I
yeah,
like
good young
O'Neal
talent.
Cruz is back. I like that guy is really good.
Yeah. Steele was impressive. I don't remember if you remember him in camp. Like he was in big league camp. You probably big leagued him.
Yeah. I remember that kid.
Yeah.
And he's hurt. I think he's hurt. He might be back, but I know he was hurt for a second. It's so funny to see when you see these kids in big league camp and you don't even think anything about it, and all of a sudden they're like Cy Young candidates 3 years later.
Know, seriously.
What the heck? I definitely didn't think about that when I saw you.
Yeah. You're too worried about your sinker and your big toe flexibility.
I was searching. I was searching hard. Found it, but I was searching hard.
All right, AL Central.
AL Central, the dumpster of baseball.
Not better, much better than the NL Central.
They are better. They got a lot better. I'm gonna go Royals. I think Royals made a lot of solid moves because the division is so weak, and I think their moves. I think they got a good vibe going. They're athletic. They remind me a little bit of Diamondbacks. Yeah, I'm gonna go Royals. They made some solid starting pitching. It's not amazing starting pitching, but they brought in solid guys. I know yesterday on our fake recording that we practiced, you were all on the Tigers, which I don't know how you got there, but
I mean, I got there because a couple guys really that I saw play in the spring training game. The Parker Meadows dude looked really good. I think he's gonna have a breakout year. And they got young guys, good young guys. Riley Green, Torkelson, I think is gonna figure it out this year. But I like their starting pitching, man. First of all, Tarek Skubal.
You like Skubal?
I like Skubal a lot. Like he came back last year looking really strong, and I think he's going to be insane this year. His stuff is elite. And then they, Maeda is a formidable starter they picked up. Jack Flaherty, you know what he's capable of. You've seen him at his prime. Like he's going to be this is going to be a bounce back year for him too. He was coming back off of Tommy John last year.
I hope he's healthy.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think these guys, and they played pretty good baseball in the second half. They were atrocious in the first half, and then they came back. And so coming off that high, obviously losing Miggy, I hate to say it too. Like it actually might help them. It unclogs the lineup.
They got Javi Baez at 100 in the middle of their lineup. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about. No, he's not. He was hitting like 7th in a spring training game, which blows my mind. Yeah, he had a double. Anyways,
that's a tough
can you
contract.
imagine though if Javi Baez stepped on it this year? Like that team could take off. Like that'd be a huge boost to their lineup. So
you got to get a motivated Javi Baez
offensive lineup. Right. Young offensive lineup. Guys, they can play some decent defense. And I think their starting pitching's all right. I think they're good. I think them and the Royals. First of all, I don't think the Royals are going to do anything this year. I hate to say it. I love Michael Wacha. But I think they're not quite there. One more year.
One more year?
All right. So I'd say this. Both these teams aren't that good, right? And I think the Twins actually got worse this year than they did last year. But they're still probably the best team in the division.
They are.
But these two teams, I guess, Kansas City and the Tigers, if they can stick around close enough at the deadline and they make a couple acquisitions, watch out. That's all I'm saying.
Watch out? Like a watch out?
Watch out. Yeah. Like
watch out. Like they're going to make noise in the playoffs or something?
They could make it to the playoffs. I'm going to say they're going to make noise in the playoffs. They're on their way. No, I think they'll edge out the Twins. I have this gut feeling. Anyways, hey, tell your dog to Kayate. I lost my train of thought.
Frank.
No, I'm just kidding. But here's the thing: with Kansas City, smart moves, right? If they don't, let's say it doesn't pan out, those are good tradable guys that are going to probably have good years there. You know what I mean? It's like a Wacha, for example.
Yeah, for sure. They gave him more than 1 year, though, didn't they?
Oh, you know what? Maybe you're right. So they want him in the mix for when they're building. Yep.
Yeah. So I got Royals. I'll take Royals. The Twins aren't even healthy. They're going to have issues.
Oh, you know what's going to take them over the top with the Royals? Adam Frazier. Your
Adam
boy.
Frazier.
Your boy. You're bad talking
because
one
he hit a
time.
3-0 home run, walk-off home run off me and broke my heart, and then I got death threats after that game.
Yep, there it is. He's going to break the hearts of the AL or AL Central.
I never let that guy get another hit after that. Anyway,
Hunter Renfroe is a good player. I like him. They got him too.
Oh, he did?
All
Yeah,
right.
he is a good player. Man, that guy gets around.
By the way, ESPN has them at number 26. I don't see that.
I don't see that either. That's disrespect.
I love the Angels, but they have them at 24 ahead of the Angels. Or
How do you
ahead of the
love
Royals.
the Angels?
I love the atmosphere there. I don't know. It was a cool ballpark to play in. Good teammates.
Okay.
I like Perry Manayason. Yeah, a lot to like. I just wish
they got Ron Washington. They're trying to change culture there. So
yeah.
And then
Anyways.
all right, let's go AL East.
AL East.
The Red Sox are doing weird. I'm not even on the Red Sox. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Craig Breslow's doing. Should give him a text and ask him what his plan is. But I'm gonna go Orioles. Orioles are good. I don't think the Yankees aren't healthy, and if they're healthy and they're aging superstars. I mean, obviously they got Juan Soto. I get it, but Garrett Cole's not healthy. I don't even know what they did to their bullpen. And yeah, I'm gonna go Orioles. Orioles are on to something. They got the young energy. Did good in the playoffs last year. Yeah. Obviously, the Rays are going to be good.
The Orioles didn't do good in the playoffs.
That's just a tough division, man. That's a tough division.
It's the best in baseball, in my opinion. That or the NL East. The East teams, AL and NL, those are the two best divisions.
AL is more balanced, though, like top to bottom. Like there's no pushover team.
Well, Red Sox are sort of climbing or going in that way. Other than the Bayo kid, and who else do they got?
How about they give that kid like $80 million after once? I can't get over that. One good year, they just will pay you.
He's their next
all your
Pedro.
Motivation. Don't worry about your motivation. We'll just pay you.
He's their next Pedro. They got
Pedro.
There'll never be another Pedro, but I would love to see Pedro in his prime, like right now. Just see what it would be like. A lot of guys like that, like Greg Maddux. I don't know, but they signed Liam Hendricks. They did like a I don't know, trade deadline deal with Tyler O'Neill. He won't be around after the trade deadline. He'll be traded.
No,
but probably both those guys.
He'll be all right. But you like the Yankees. You think the Yankees are going to win the division?
Well, I really think the Orioles will. But since you said them, Yankees. If Cole, it all depends with Cole. Because he's the best pitcher in baseball, in my opinion. And not having him, I just fear that this is a worse injury than they're letting on. You know what I mean? So I hope that's
probably going to get Trevor Bauer.
I wanted to ask you about that, but let's wait till later. I want to know your opinion on that whole thing. I'll write that down. First of all, I wish they would have got Snell.
He pitched against them the other. They got Stroman too. I forgot they got Stroman.
Yeah, but the thing is, so with I lost my train of thought because you mentioned Bauer, but with the loss of Cole, their depth is pretty solid, and they got some guys that can fill the gap. They're not going to be Garrett Cole. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're going to be formidable. And if their offense can stay healthy, then yes, I have the Yankees. I will stick with the Yankees.
Rodon to be good because he's been garbage.
Well,
if he's what he was before, if he what he was 2 years ago, then I think he could hold it down. But
like the Giants Rodon,
yeah. If he had a bad spring training, he had a bad last year. Obviously, he came back from injury, but he still did not look good in spring training. He said, "Oh, now it counts to turn it on." Okay, I get that because we've all been in that situation.
Yeah,
but they need that guy to be really good if they're going to do anything.
When's his contract up? I didn't look at that.
Oh, he signed like a 6-7 year deal.
Yeah, so I'll say, what's his motivation?
Yeah, what's your motivation?
Yep,
to win. Like Scherzer talks about last Max. Why do you keep playing? You just to win World Series. That's that guy's motivation.
Yeah. Actually, I read a thing. I read Kobe Bryant's when he tore his Achilles, what he wrote that night. Like, I wish guys were geared that way. Just first, he's like grieving over it, and then he's like, "But it's not going to stop me." Type attitude. Like, I'm going to keep working. Right. There's no excuses. There's way worse things than a torn Achilles. Like, I'm getting after it. I'm like, man, you imagine if you had a team full of those guys? Like,
Yeah, I know.
it'd be
But I don't know if
incredible.
you can have a team full. You just need a few of those guys.
No, I'm not maybe with that type of ego, but with that drive,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
NL East. NL East. Chris Sale, game changer. I'll go with Braves. If Chris Sale's healthy, I mean, the Phillies are good. The Phillies are going to be there too. But I think the Braves with Chris Sale, he eliminates the lefties for the Phillies.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he could stay healthy, that's such a good sign.
Oh gosh, what a steal!
I did say the NL East is probably the best other than the AL East. I take that back. I think the NL West is a better division this year, but because the Mets aren't any good.
And the Mets are going to be terrible.
The Nationals are 1 year away to doing some damage. They got some good young talent that
they do a good
really
team. They got a good vibe going. They have a good vibe going. They think they're going to do some stuff this year. I don't think they might make some noise, and it'll be tough to play. Like you can't go into DC or DC comes to you thinking there'll be a pushover. You're going to have to play.
Yep.
But they're not there yet.
Oops.
Just the Phillies or Braves are they're just too good.
I mean, clearly the Braves is the pick, but I'm going to say Phillies just because.
All right.
I can't agree with you on two things.
The Marlins, if they have Alcantara, they don't have enough. Man, they got Sixto coming. If that guy's healthy, the Marlins they're ways away.
Tim Anderson, yeah, that's probably the biggest sign I can think of right now.
Yeah, they're just not doing much. It's crazy they made the playoffs last year, but they're just not doing much.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's our picks. What do you got on Trevor Bauer?
I want to know your thoughts on that. I mean, I asked. I'm not going to say who I asked. I was talking to some fans, specifically my cousin. Like, he's like, why wouldn't the Red Sox or anyone sign Trevor Bauer? I'm like, well, he's burned every bridge possible,
Yeah.
On the player side and on the team side, in MLB. So it's like, it's pretty tough. Plus that stigma, even though he's innocent, like it's just
even though he's
brutal.
Innocent, do you really want to deal with what that brings?
Right. Exactly. So what do you think? What do you got? Would you allow him on your team if you need him?
Depends what team I have.
Oh, so you're saying there's a chance?
If I'm a World Series contender, I would go get Trevor Bauer. If I just lost my ace,
Garrett Cole.
If I just lost Garrett Cole, I'm gonna go get Trevor Bauer for the league minimum.
Oh my goodness! Could you imagine?
There's enough superstars in that where the whole focus is not on Trevor Bauer.
In New York, yeah, they're gonna just they would go have a field day. The media.
Trevor Bauer, you want to play? Come to New York. Let's see how you handle this one. If I lost Garrett Cole, I'm going to get Trevor Bauer.
If any team were ever to sign him, oh my gosh, he has to keep his mouth shut. Like,
yeah, tell him to shut up. Like, stop talking and stay away from the arguing about the baseballs and every other. Just shut up and pitch, bro.
The sticky stuff. That's where like he lost the player side. It's like, look, we had a good thing going with just sunscreen and rosin, but no, you had to prove everybody and make it a science experiment. And now guys are like having to use regular rosin that slips out of, like the ball still slips out of their hand. Like hitters didn't have a problem with sunscreen and rosin, right? Like you talk to any hitter across the league, like, no, I don't care if you use sunscreen and rosin. I don't want to get hit in the head. Great. But when you start using the spider tack and all that stuff, it's like driving the speed limit. You're going 75 and a 70 with spider tack or with sunscreen and rosin. But when you use spider tack, it's like going 90 and a 70. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to go 75. But when you go 90, it's too much.
Well, what happened was when Garrett Cole and Verlander, they went to Houston, and all of a sudden they just increased everything. That's what pissed Bauer off, I think, because him and Garrett Cole are so competitive with each other. So then he's like, I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to show what changes. And look, he goes and wins the Cy Young.
Yeah, but why say all that?
Because he wanted to expose people. That's his problem. He won't shut up.
So be like Jose Canseco. Expose them when you're retired. You have nothing to do.
There's not attention in Cleveland. He wasn't getting any attention being a Cy Young Award winner out there. No one cared.
He got plenty of attention when he launched the ball over the hitter's eye because he got upset. He got taken out of the game.
That was amazing too.
Were you there when Wilson did that, Contreras? I don't know. I forget what the scenario was. Was it like out number 3, and he took the ball and sent it over Wrigley?
No, I didn't see that.
And, yeah, walking off the field.
Oh
You
wait,
might
was it in the
forget.
outfield?
No, he was catching. It just like
Oh,
I don't know. It's like strike 3 or something. I forget what happened. He just took it and just launched it. I was like, oh shoot.
that's a hell of a throw.
Yeah, she yeeted that thing.
Well, we got
Anyway,
opening day coming up,
mm.
which is obvious as a player, it's the most exciting moments I think of the season, except for the playoffs. What is your favorite opening day memory?
Oh, well, it's got to be my first one, right? But it was kind of like it was like favorite slash like depressing in the same way, if that makes sense. So, quick background. We talked about it briefly yesterday. But like when I was in college, I loved watching Muhammad Ali films, documentaries, the movie, everything, just because like his mindset, like he's just not going to lose, and I don't know, that stuff fired me up. So I had a big following with him, and so my rookie year, it's we were transitioning from the Florida Marlins to the Miami Marlins in the new stadium. So opening opening series in the stadium, and ownership brings in Muhammad Ali. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like he surprised us with him. But it was like so depressing because the dude was in a wheelchair, couldn't speak. He's like drooling on himself. Like we're taking a picture with him. I was like borderline like in tears watching this guy. I'm like, dude, this is like they're treating him like a caged animal. And like he couldn't. They had tried to make him throw the first pitch, but they basically had to drive. I think if I remember right, they like drove the golf cart to like home plate as like the first pitch with
Wow.
him in the back. It was tough, man. And like I wanted to like it so much. But then after once like the Jets flew over the stadium and the crowd roared, like, all right, this is unreal. Like it was awesome. But so for one moment it was like super exciting. I got to see like my I don't know, college hero. But
Right.
then sad because he was grinding, like barely hanging on for life. But then just the whole stigma about behind it all was really cool. Yeah.
I remember when they opened that stadium. That was like a huge thing, and all of a sudden they showed that flamingo on the outfield. It was like, what the heck is going on out there?
Hey, I kind of like that thing, and here's why. Because when from my arm angle, like lefty hitters, it was coming out of the
Oh,
flamingo. Yeah. So, what was yours, dude?
I think we all love our first one because it's a dream. It's that childhood dream, opening day, and
Mm-hmm.
it was 2011, and we opened up in Cincinnati or something. But that was exciting. The energy was crazy. I ended up getting sent down like a week later. But my most memorable one, I think, was 2013 because we opened up in Wrigley, and I had never played in Wrigley, and that was an amazing dream to
Wow.
do. So the energy in Wrigley, the guy singing, I don't know, it just felt different, opening day in Wrigley. And 2014, it wasn't our opener, but it was their opener. We went to the Red Sox, and they got their rings. The crowd's crazy. That was Braun's first game back from suspension. They were booing him like no other. It felt like a 50,000 against us, which is kind of like going to Dodger Stadium. But it was like they're on top of you more, Fenway, And then we went in and swept them. That was great. And then after that, we went to Philly for their opener, and they're booing Braun, and we swept them. It was a good a good
Wow.
week of opening days for us. But that's probably my most memorable. But the thing is, like, you never know when it's your last, right? We talked about this yesterday, and I think guys just need to appreciate every opening day. It's hard to make an opening day roster if you're not on a guaranteed contract. It's just hard. And
Yeah.
I think my last one, I didn't appreciate it as much because you never know when it's going to be your last. I definitely didn't think it would be my last, but it ends up being your last. And, I just hope for the fans, remember that it's just a good vibe in the stadium, but, it's just have fun with it. Remember, have fun with your kids, and just hope the players appreciate every moment, right? What do you think?
Yeah. No, totally. I agree with you 100%. And I remember my last. It was in Washington, and I just have this vivid picture of me like running out on the red carpet, and then remembering what I was thinking in that moment. Like this is going to be my last one, like 90% sure. And so it was pretty emotional for me. I held it together out there, but it was hard. And it was awesome, man. It was like super bittersweet, right? Like it's cool place to do it at Nats Park because I mean they put on like a show. Once the anthem's over,
Yeah.
the Jets are just buzzing the tower, like incredible. Um, And so I always try to tell young guys, and I think I was on the line. I don't remember who I was standing next to, but like, dude, just soak this in. Like, you never know when it's gonna be your last, and this is like a privilege to be out here. This is just soak it in as much as you can because it goes quick. Yep.
Right.
So
It's
yeah, man.
really good. Opening day. I mean, there's so many guys that played. You get full seasons, and sometimes even if you just miss opening day, there's it happens a lot. And I mean, I played all those years, and I only made 8 open. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 opening day rosters out of the other years. So I missed some.
Yeah. No, it's a privilege.
But well, that's our picks for this week or for the year. And if you guys are listening, you haven't subscribed or follow, give us a subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, and we'll keep this thing going. Hopefully we get way better at this than last year. And let us know your thoughts on anything. But we'll talk to you guys next week. Once again, I am Brandon Kinsler and my co-host Steve Cishek, and we'll talk to you guys next week.